everyone. Welcome back to episode 25 of the Gilded City. The show is a quarter of the way to 100 episodes. Crazy.
Are we actually?
I don't know if we're going to have 100 episodes. I doubt it. But anyway.
We totally will.
Even sure. It might not keep going. This season. Yeah. Anyway, we are very excited to be back once again. Unfortunately, Janara could not be with us tonight. Very sad, but she will be back soon with us, I believe, next week. So, we look forward to having her back, but we'll miss her tonight. Go ahead and follow us on social media at Rollers Guild D&D on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok to keep up to date with all that stuff. And yeah, that's basically it. Like, comment, subscribe, all those standard YouTube things. Follow the podcast. But with that, we'll go ahead and jump on in to tonight's episode. Last time, the party spent some time recuperating from their encounter with the Watchful Order. They had to lay low for about a month to let some of the heat from the law die off. And during that downtime, several things happened. Octavia revealed some truths about herself to her father. Artemis's brother bought him a house and a new place of business. Janara practiced with her new warlock powers and got a little uncomfortable with how close her new patron is going to be. Nyx tinkered and learned how to mix magic with her tinkering. Bowman started volunteer work in Little Cormere. And Penny stirred up some shit with the Watchful Order. But reconvening at the end of their month of downtime to meet with Freedom, Artemis decided it was time to share his family's history with the party. So that is where we left off. Freedom is not here yet. And it's just all of you together around Janara's, dining room table, talking. And Artemis was about to reveal everything.
Some stuff.
Reveal, I guess. So, go right ahead.
Right. So Artemis, as we're all sitting around, kind of I imagine like around a coffee table or something, like a fire going nearby. We've all got drinks.
Yeah, you're all around the long dining room table that you've been eating around. There's a huge fireplace in here with like a big portrait of Janara's family above it.
Oh,
we're at our war table.
You're at your war table basically. But yeah, you have your drinks and snacks as normal. So
yeah, Artemis has pulled out the long sword that he has kind of tucked underneath his overcoat, so it's not totally obvious all the time. And he sets it on the table. So, I have a few things to tell all of you over the last few weeks. Some of this is knowledge that, well, I've been told that scholars and treasure hunters across the world would do anything for. So, congratulations, I guess. I swore to my father that when I was a boy, I'd never tell, but it's not exactly something that can be hidden very well now, and besides which, you all deserve to know. Oh, where to start? Um, this sword, is very old. He gestures to the sword on the table. Like I said, it's a long sword with a sapphire set in the pommel. The guard is decorated like extended wings of a bird, very similar to what you see on the Bright Shield crest. The blade itself has a very faint wavy pattern, kind of similar to what we see in our world with Damascus steel. And it looks brand new. No rust, no dings, no anything. This is the sword of Oikos. And real quick, Oikos is not a reference to the yogurt company, Oikos. This is not, my character's backstory is not one massive reference to yogurt.
Which leads us to our sponsor of today.
Oikos yogurt, if you want to
Come to that
sponsor us. Emails are open.
This is what I imagine that company references. I don't know, but it is the idea. It's an ancient Greek word referring to a loyalty to one's home, specifically one's city and the people of it. So Greece, not yogurt. Back in. So a very long time ago, so long that no one actually knows how long, there was this city-state called Oikos. And it was one of the greatest, and housed libraries, traditions, crafting secrets. It was this hub of ideas and people that believed in a few core ideals. Light and joy are to be cherished, and they were all steadfast behind the idea of you stand in defense of others who cannot defend themselves. And it got its power through an entity called the Silver Flame. And it would speak to some of them through blue fire, or sometimes taking the form of this silver phoenix. Oikos was strong, and it wasn't all talk. There was this elite band of warriors called the Oikosian Knights, and sworn defenders of the city, the crown, and all of its people. And the stories say that they couldn't be beaten. Of course, that's true for anyone until it happens. And then it happened. Something or someone wiped them all out. The city, the towers, the libraries, the throne, and even the stories about the city. Anything to do with Oikos was hunted until it was quietly erased. But the story they missed is this one. And it goes that the royal family of the city escaped with a handful of knights, and they fled and were picked off one by one in the wild. With the city destroyed, the family lost its power, lost this sword. And they were forced to live in hiding for the rest of their days, generation after generation. Eventually, they found a small plot of land and stayed hidden, passing that story on from generation to generation, that one day, maybe, they could go home. They could find home. The silver flame, it still spoke to them, but the time wasn't right to do anything. You know, the family was still too weak. They were still being hunted. And eventually, everything but the stories was lost. The fighting techniques, the arcane secrets kept in the libraries, you know, all of it forgotten. It's just the family clinging to what hope they had left and the stories their parents had whispered to them. And then the family stumbled across something, a secret that turned their fate back around. Well, they got really good at making wine. So they stepped out from the shadows slightly and started accumulating power once again. And one day, with enough wealth and power, they could try again to go, I don't even know what. They could set out and find their lost home. So, congratulations. That's the story that my father drilled into Dagrin in my heads every single day as boys. We were to be something. We had to carry that legacy and secrets and sacrifice of countless others on our shoulders. With the war between the Federation and Cormier a few years back, you know, he knew our family could bridge the gap between them. Our lands are comically on the border, the new border now. So his boys would be ready, you know, and when the Silver Flame contacted us, we would serve. But I didn't like that. I didn't really have a place in that perfect plan, and Dagrin made sure of that. He wanted to be the one. You know, he knew he was the one. So I gave up. You know, he's older than me anyway. And I stuck to the taverns, music, and things that weren't dreaming of lost treasures and secrets. And Roderick, my father, he didn't like that. So he told me off. And we yelled, and we swore, and well, the point is, I caved and started actually working for the family business and went on a trip. And while I was away, that's when he was killed. 3 stab wounds and a slice across the neck, I'm told. Apparently my mother's mind snapped. I don't know if she knows something or was just unspeakably sad. But I heard all about it and, well, admittedly, I didn't handle it very well. I ran, I drank, and as you'd know, I slept with a perfectly lovely young person and ran out of their house before the cats or their father could kill me. And tried to forget about it all. You know, I don't have any proof. I've said that before. It's just this gut feeling, but Dagrin did something. And if he finds out that now I've got the sword that he declared was going to be presented to him, well, that fight between us is going to come a little sooner. But that's really condensed version of what it talked to me over the last few weeks. It reached back out and the Silver Flame. And I just felt really helpless, you know, after that scuffle with you know, the Octavia's like look-alike, and I said yes. Now I've got it. I don't really know what to do with it, but Bowman and Janara, they've been helping me, you know, get a little better at using it, and using a couple of the skills that come with it. So on a much more positive note, I have this pistol. I don't need any more. If anyone wants it, because I've got something better. And
can I take a look at that?
yeah, hand it to you.
Thank you.
It is the silent. Let me pull up the thing again. It's the silenced pistol that I already took out of my inventory. No.
It's a +1 and it has the added bonus of firing silently.
Yeah, you can feel free to take it. I've got something else now. So that's me. That's the big bright shield secret that no one's supposed to know. I don't think we're really still being hunted, not in the same way. I don't really know what it would be. And I'm not ready to actually do anything about it, you know. But if, in case Dagrin comes knocking again, like he did, figured you all had the right to know. So, any questions? He drinks.
So what is the silver flame? An entity?
Wow, yeah, that's a good question. The Oikos kind of treated it like a god, but I don't think it's quite at that level.
If you Penny, because you asked, you may make a religion check. If anybody else is proficient in religion, you may also roll.
I was a nat 1.
Yeah, you've got no idea.
Can I make a history check?
Sure. What are you trying to glean from this?
Just trying to get more. If I like, I don't know. If
are you looking for silver flame information or Oikos information, or both?
Specifically Oikos.
Okay. Yeah, make a history check for me.
That was that's a solid 2.
Yeah,
that's what you needed.
Not ringing any bells. If anyone wants to, you may make an Arcana check as well.
I figured I have at some point, so I'll
yeah. Anybody else aside from Artemis, I'll say.
I got to
Nat
know.
20 in Arcana.
19, nat 20, very nice. Penny and Nyx, there's a detail about Artemis's story that catches both of your attentions. That detail being the bit about mist. There is an old legend, old stories about magical mists coming and snatching people, or sometimes whole towns, whole cities, whole countries. And those magical mists, according to the old stories, take them to a place called the Domains of Dread, otherwise known as Ravenloft. That just sticks out.
That sounds very significant, and the word Ravenloft sounds very familiar, but do I know what that is?
Do you, Kelly, or do you, Nyx?
Well, I know that Kelly does not know what that is, but does Nyx know?
Nyx knows what I just told you.
Okay.
That's what Nyx knows. In the old stories, there's a place called Ravenloft, or otherwise known as the Domains of Dread, and the stories go. It's kind of like a boogeyman type story, right? That if you're bad, the mists of Ravenloft are gonna come snatch you up. So there's also an association, I will say, with the nat 20, Penny, you would know there's an association between the Domains of Dread and the Plane of Existence Shadowfell. the Shadowfell is like the dark reflection of the material plane. And the domains of dread are supposedly a like pocket plane attached to Shadowfell.
Lots of fun stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of names.
Yeah.
So this is a good entity or a bad entity?
It promotes, I think, on the side of good, joy, appreciation, standing up for those that can't really defend themselves. But I don't know much about it, actually.
What do you get out of having the sword? And what does the flame get from giving you the sword?
It mentioned something about, I think, not being ready quite yet, but I think the story's always said that the sword isn't just given to anyone. It's been gone ever since the city fell. They always said that it would return one day, and then with the sword, some great champion would do something, find the city, bring it back, take it back, rebuild it. They're not even that specific, right? So I kind of have to go on this leap of faith that it's not lying. I mean, it's I didn't actually think the thing was real, and then it was just there. It just felt natural to grab it, so I did. I get a couple cool tricks, and I think I'm still wrapping my head around it, but a bit of a confidence boost. I might be able to.
You need
I
that.
couldn't fight you. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong.
No, I was
I
being
might be
ironic, but
It's all drinks.
but yeah, no, that's good. Good.
Yeah.
So
So I'm happy. I mean, I'm not going anywhere, right? We've got things to take care of here, and I'll use it here. And if it causes up some problems, then I'll deal with that. But I've been running from this idea since, I don't know, might have first heard the stories when I was 8 or something, maybe earlier. Kind of feels like the natural path, I guess.
the table's on the sword's on the table, right? Bowman goes to try to grab it. Anything happen?
Bowman, you grab it and it's a sword.
Okay, cool. This one
it doesn't feel, you've held a sword before. It feels like you're holding a sword.
Okay. Cool. It's a fine craft.
Yeah, I mean, you holding it and looking at it closely, it is extremely well crafted. Bowman, you don't see any direct evidence of arcane powers tied to it, though that doesn't necessarily mean there aren't.
Yeah.
I mean, it did just show up. You hadn't seen it before that morning that Artemis woke up with it, but
Well, this group hasn't had any problem making more problems for ourselves, so I think you having the sword won't be too much of an issue.
Unless it turns on you.
Yeah, if it, slits my throat, stabs me 3 times, that would kind of be ironic.
Do they know if that sword is what happened to your father?
From what I've heard, I haven't been home since I had that argument. But what I heard is, Dagran has his connections, and if he wants something to stay a little quieter, it'll happen. So I don't know much. Nobody actually knows about this thing except, I guess, my mother, Dagran, me, and you all now. That I know of. Nobody knows the thing exists. So I'm, walking about, I can just say, yeah, it's the family sword. It's an heirloom. Unless somebody recognizes it, in which case I need to know that they recognize it. Because they're either an ally or someone who really wants to kill me, so.
Isn't there a way that you could cast something on it to make it look like a different sword or a different thing entirely?
Maybe.
In case that happens.
It might be a bit beyond me. Let me check my spells. Maybe I can get creative. It's a good idea to have in the back pocket.
I could maybe work on something like that.
Sure.
I've been doing some tinkering, and I touch just hang on. I touch. What do I have to do? I just touch like the cup that I'm drinking out of, and it shines like a light. And then I like dust it off, and it goes back to normal.
That's a useful trick.
Yeah. I can do some other stuff too, and then I make it smell really bad.
Sorry, was that me?
It's okay. You're going through stressful times.
Yeah, figured it was Bowman.
Hey.
At about this time, Joyce enters the room and says,
Joyce enters the room gagging.
yeah. Yeah, her nose wrinkles a little bit, but she shakes her head. Don't mean to bother you all. Freedom is here to see you. Should I let her in?
Yes.
Great. Yeah, she heads out.
Do you want to put that away, Artemis?
Sure. I'll put it back on my belt. It's like on a rear hip. It's not quite across the body. When he pulls it out, it's like really bad form. He keeps it on the wrong side and has to spin it around in his hand. But
Oh wait.
yeah, give me a sec.
I got it.
All right.
Yeah,
We'll
a
work on
moment
that. We'll work on
passes.
that.
You're all sort of sitting around the table, and Freedom comes in. She is, wearing, the weather's starting to get a little nicer finally, entering sort of that early spring period, but still a little chilly. So she has on a cloak. She drapes it over the chair, but she's wearing not as heavy and warm clothing underneath, sort of vest, pants, white shirt with the and she rolls up the sleeves on the white shirt. And she nods at all of you. All right. I trust no one had any issues laying low.
No.
I think so.
No, not at all.
Right. So we have a lot to discuss, actually. I've done some digging to try to find out things that would be helpful for you all. First of all, you should know it's quiet right now. It hasn't been announced, but the Watchful Order, after taking credit for getting rid of Maribaldi from all of you, seized his assets. I'm sure you all saw in the paper. Actually, Miss Prescott, I believe you wrote a story in the Waterdeep Times about it. It's a good read.
Oh, thank you. I can't even keep track of all my stories anymore.
Well, anyway, yes, it was an excellent,
Freedom,
it was an excellent
not
article.
impressed.
But sources tell me that the Watchful Order is now offloading some of the property that they have seized to others, including passing ownership of the bank over to the CEO of Endless Flame Shipping Company, who will now become the president of the bank.
Bowman, white, pale, just goes, oh my god.
Wait, do we know Bowman works? I feel like we do.
You would
We know
know.
the
I
name.
mean, Artemis knows because he's visited
I
Bowman
know.
at work,
Okay.
and I think Octavia knows because of the
Oh, yeah, I
rumors
saw.
she's heard and stuff. But I don't know if anybody else necessarily knows for sure that's where Bowman works. But
Yeah, I don't think I've quite put to. Maybe I should check my notes. I don't think I've quite put together the idea of there's a dragon as a boss. I don't think anyone's spelled that out.
yeah, there was certainly. You all know what you all know is that the name is draconic. But it could be somebody just took that name because it was, cool. Octavia knows that a red dragon has been seen in the dock wards. Bowman obviously knows who Fear Kindler is because he's met him. And Janara knows what her parents told her about the history of dragons and Waterdeep and what they know about the history of Fear Kindler. But not confirmation to her that the Fear Kindler that's in Waterdeep is the same Fear Kindler from historical records. Just as a recap of what we know about that. Anyway.
That's a lot of power for one person.
Yes, and I've still been able to turn up precious little about him.
There are no antitrust, anti-monopoly laws that would make that illegal.
No, unfortunately.
We should get on that.
Well, I agree, but that won't happen as long as the people in charge of the government are, patsies for these rich capitalists. The Open Lord is actually great. I like her, and some of the members of the People's Vote Coalition are good. But it's hard to know who in the government is really on our side. I mean, the whole People's Vote Coalition is theoretically in favor of everybody having the right to vote.
Did you hear that's gonna go
I did.
to the thing?
I did.
It's pretty. Is it you might know more. Is it legit?
Yes, as far as I know. There will, in fact, be a bill coming to the floor of the Waterdeep Congress soon for Waterdeep Congress people to vote on whether or not to give the right to vote to all citizens of the state.
I turn to Octavia and Janara and I go, you write to your representative because they don't care what I have to say. They don't care what any of the rest of us have to say. Sorry, Artemis. You're not part of this. But you
'Cause you're not a resident.
and you, they care about you. Make them care about this.
Boy, oh boy, do they love white women. Care a lot about what the white women have to say.
Oh, I technically am a citizen now.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
you do
true.
Are you?
Oh
Why
shit!
would they love you
I
better than a
I
white
should see what
woman?
that
Oh,
place
that's
looks
true.
like.
All right.
All I have is the address. I don't know what it looks like yet.
Then I turn to Artemis also, and I'm like, and you
Ah.
sleep with someone if you have to.
Nick,
I sheepishly, very quickly, eyes dart to Bowman and back.
Never, ever, not.
Nix,
No.
Nix, you cannot pimp out members of the party.
Why
for,
not?
For equal rights. You can't do that.
Well, let's think about the options
You
first.
are in no position to talk. No. Can we just, Jesus Christ.
I have to agree with Miss Pressfall here. No.
Right, we'll circle
Are you
back to it.
saying that
Sorry-
because you don't
sorry
want to
to
sleep with
We'll talk
Artemis? Or are
private.
you saying that because you believe it's true?
I both actually.
Okay.
Well, anyway, yes, as far as I am aware, that bill is real. That is moving forward. But as I say, even if everybody gets the right to vote, it doesn't necessarily mean that Congress is going to move forward towards meaningful changes in the world of business. So
Yeah, but then more people have a voice and can tell them what they think.
hopefully, but it
That
may
doesn't solve our problem right now.
yeah, it may all be a moot point because I am sure that this group of the worst of the worst of the capitalists that you all have been going after, I am sure that they have a contingency plan that if the right to vote passes, do you really think they're going to let people actually make it to the polls?
We're working on it.
And this is my concern with the Watchful Order. They have a lot of reach, and now they've announced that they are opening up campuses in every ward of the city.
Like polling places?
No.
Does Artemis know what a polling place is? Sorry.
Does no one read my articles?
No, I read your article.
I read your article as
They're
well.
making.
Yeah.
They're
Roman,
making.
you know how to read?
Yes, we've been over this probably
Oh.
a dozen
I
times.
sent him a letter once.
Okay.
We
Yes.
communicate via owl note sometimes.
But if I'm understanding Penny's article was they're making pretty much hubs in all the wards, so all the Watchful Order members can just kind of be there, similar, so they can help the citizens faster in a way.
Exactly. And who's to say that that help won't be pulling anyone away who would vote for the wrong candidates?
What do we want to do?
Well, I don't have any proof that that is the case, but I'm concerned about it. Anyway, Watchful Order is a huge problem. But I'm afraid there's precious little to go on right now with them. I don't know how we cripple them.
We could, I don't know, burn down their campuses.
Awesome.
Okay.
That seems risky.
Well, don't they keep showing up when we do other things?
So
Oh, that-
far,
oh, that's only twice.
if I understand, they've attacked you twice. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we can always we always have a really good vantage spot to stake out these new campuses since they're right outside my house.
Are you inviting us over, Miss Pressfold?
I didn't say. Who said that? I didn't. I said like I meant when I said we, I meant like the people, like
In this room?
So the
We-
no,
whole
like I
city
meant like
can go
I
over
meant
to
like
your
the good
house?
of mankind kind of thing.
Like,
You guys don't need to. The house is like dirty. It wouldn't. You don't need to come over. It's not. Yeah, I will stake it out and get back to you guys.
So far, what little information we have on the Watchful Order, we've only been able to glean by going after these capitalists. Stands to reason, if you continue down the path that you're on, you may get more opportunities to learn more. Specifically, I think one of two options. There's only 3 left. So, but I think between the 3 that are left, the 2 that would be most likely for you to find information about the Watchful Order are Thomas Evenwood and Fiala Mistraleth.
Is that what it's called? Is that Watchful
Ye-
Order?
Fiala Mistraleth is in charge of Mistraleth Railways. She's a rail baron.
Oh my god, I'd totally forgotten about them.
Yes. She's a rail baron. I've got reasons for thinking that both of them would have a good lead on the Watchful Order. You'd be able to find a good lead on them from one of the 2 of them. Thomas Evenwood, it's fairly obvious. He's both a wizard, artificer, inventor, rich asshole by all accounts. He as a wizard, if he is, an arcanely inclined individual, I think it more likely than not that he is perhaps handling more of the direct interface between this conspiracy group and the Watchful Order. Certainly, it seems like they had direct dealings with Marivaldi as well, but I would guess I would guess that Evenwood is the one who would have the most direct contact with the Watchful Order out of anybody involved in this conspiracy. And so you may be able to learn more about them at Evenwood's, when you're handling the Evenwood job. The other option is the reason I think Fiala Mistralith is another good option is there have been between her railway company and the Watchful Order many direct real estate transactions. With the railway buying several old warehouses that the Watchful Order used to own, and vice versa, the Watchful Order has bought land from the railway. So I think those are best. I think those are the best options to find out more about the Watchful Order. If you all wanted to go after the Watchful Order first, you could try, but I'm worried about how little I've been able to dig up on them. That's not just public knowledge and history. I mean, Vinny and doesn't know anything useful. I've very carefully tried to pick his brain on that. And if Vinny, one of the most well-connected criminals in the city, doesn't know any secret information about the Watchful Order, I don't know who would.
Freedom, wasn't there like a third person
the CEO of Endless Flame Shipping Company.
Yeah. What about him?
I haven't been able to find anything that would lead me to believe there's a direct link between him and the Watchful Order, aside from the fact that this conspiracy group is clearly working alongside them. Interesting things about Fear Kindler, he does share a name with a historical dragon, a powerful historical dragon.
It's a good person to name yourself after.
I don't want to completely rule out the possibility that he is that dragon.
Do I see anything on Bowman's face that gives away that he might know something?
Yeah, I want to look there too. I know he works there.
Make an insight check.
I'm gonna actively try to roll for deception.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
My deception was 17.
Okay.
24.
I got a 20.
Okay. Well, Artemis and Octavia both
Heads
clock
just
it.
snap over.
Bowman looks uncomfortable as hell.
He's lifting up a glass of brandy and it's like the ice is shaking.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say anything until later.
Dragons have incredibly
I'm just gonna wait for Bowman to speak.
Dragons have incredibly long
Thank you so much.
lifespans, so it's entirely possible that this could be the same entity. Dragons are also capable of disguising themselves as humans. The only thing is the dragons aren't supposed to be able to enter the city of Waterdeep, but perhaps the Watchful Order found a way to get around that. If it is the same person.
We saw a dragon in Marivaldi's maze.
Yes, we did.
It was a
little thing.
baby. I think.
Yes, but it was still a red dragon.
At any rate, I would be hesitant to move against a possible dragon right now as well, but
How old would, if this dragon was the same dragon from the histories, how old would this dragon be?
not sure how old he was in the lumber wars, which is sort of the main thing he's known for, but he wasn't young then. He was a well-established dragon. So, I mean, he's likely several thousand years old at this point.
I don't know.
100% sure. But
I really don't
pretty
know a
big
lot
one.
about dragons, but I don't really think we can take on a really old dragon.
Yes, 100% agree, Nix. Yes. We should maybe go to the other two options.
Bowman, you've never turned down a fight.
Well, he's not
Well,
stupid.
To be
Dra-
fair, that
Are you
would not
calling
be
me
much-
stupid?
No.
Wouldn't be much of a fight, Penny. It would be more of a
You should.
how to
I'll
put
pick
this
you.
lightly,
Execution?
suicide.
Oh, okay. Great. I mean, I'm just saying it sounds like something that you guys would like to do because you're always wanting to fight things that are scarier and bigger than us and that we don't stand a chance against. A dragon isn't something Penny Presswell is going to fight. That just is a fact. But they're endangered, aren't they?
no, dragons are not
That's
intelligent.
No.
That's not. They're a sentient. They're a sentient, and for lack of a better term, race. They are perfectly capable of defending themselves. Dragons don't. They're not super numerous because they're very solitary creatures, but they are intelligent, and
I don't think they're going to disappear anytime
I
soon.
don't think they're going anywhere.
Either way,
Particularly
I'm not fighting
long-lived.
them.
No one knows if dragons have an end to a natural lifespan. They might just be able to live
Ooh, that's an
indefinitely,
interesting thought.
killed by an outside.
If only one of us knew a dragon, we could ask him.
Yeah.
What dragon are you going to ask?
We could go back to that maze.
Bowman, are you okay?
Never better.
Then for the love of God, put down that glass. I'm going to punch you if you keep rattling that ice.
Yes, ma'am. Sit down.
Right.
Ooh.
So, what would you all like to do?
I like trains.
Yeah,
Trains are fun.
I'm a little wary of going up against wizard, artificer, inventor guy.
Well, Theala, that's the mother of my friend, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I may have an in with Theala then.
Oh,
One of my best friends, they she's their mother.
Octavia,
Ooh.
one of your best friends is the heir to a railroad royalty.
Well, they don't really think of themselves like that.
You're friends with a railroad baroness.
I went to school with them.
I always forget that you have money.
yeah.
Would you like me to give you what information I've been able to uncover about Fiala Mistralith? Is that who you want to target first?
I think that might be our best bet.
I think Penny is saying yes.
I want to meet a railroad baroness. In Penny's mind, a railroad baroness is essentially a princess. So
All right.
Just got finished telling Penny I'm a prince.
She does not.
Penny has
Just
no
shit's given.
Penny does
Care
not
about
care
that.
about princes. She wants to meet a princess, okay? She couldn't care less.
Fair.
Fair. Okay. Well, then, Fiala Mistralith it is. All right. So, Mistralith Railways, largest rail service in the nation. Headquarters are here in Waterdeep. The main headquarters and train yard are actually in the Undercliff ward. That's the ward of the city that you live in, Nix. Sort of located out towards the edge of the city. There are obviously stations elsewhere in the city, but the main train yard, train hub and offices and stuff are all at the edge of the city. The big thing I was able to find about their recent activities is that for the last few months, they have been buying up a lot of farmland in some of the communities just outside of Waterdeep in order to construct some new railways, some new rail lines, increase service to various locations, etc. As far as I can tell, it's all been above board, but I don't want to rule out the possibility that they are pressuring some of these farmers and other people from small rural communities into selling parts of their land for the railway. That is sort of what's going on there. They have also been working with mines and quarries and the like to get a lot of coal for the trains. Obviously, that's sort of the main thing. Recently there's been some controversy. There was a nature reserve few miles outside of Waterdeep, recently discovered that it is sitting on top of a large deposit of coal. And so there are many, many interests. I think leading those interests are the Mistral Railways to tear down the nature reserve and strip mine for the coal. Again, nothing technically illegal about that, though perhaps immoral. If I had to guess a direction that here are my thoughts. If we want to find evidence of wrongdoing, Mr. Leth Railways, because I have no doubt that there is some wrongdoing, it would be confirming if they use illegal means to pressure farmers and other folks from nearby small towns into selling their land. It would be looking into if they have done anything illegal in this dispute over the nature reserve. And also, as a railway company, if this conspiracy involves any amount of smuggling things in and out of the city, they are well positioned to do so.
We don't know any connection they have to the Watchful Order or anything.
Other than what I mentioned about the trading of real estate between the two.
Mm-hmm.
But
Would that be a good place to start poking around, or should we buy a couple train tickets?
Road trip.
Listen, I want to rob a train in a D&D game so badly.
I should tell you all that the land buying up, the new rail line that Mr. Leth Railways is in the midst of constructing, they are the main company involved in an all-new, state-of-the-art railway that is going to stretch all the way from Waterdeep to hold on, where did I say that? Sorry.
It's 32 degrees in my apartment.
What?
It's like 32 degrees in my apartment.
It's too cold.
Wait.
That's almost freezing. Oh, wait, no, that is
It
freezing.
is freezing.
That's too cold.
Some would say.
Eek.
Okay.
Not New York State landlords, though. They would say that's living conditions.
This new railway will connect Silvery Moon on Waterdeep and stretch all the way down to Baldur's Gate, all in one rail line with just those 3 stops. I think is the main piece. It's sort of an express
line
railway between the sort of largest city in the northeastern part of the Sword Coast Federation, the largest city along the northwest coast, Waterdeep, and the largest city along the south coast. So that is all Mr. Lith Railways. They are constructing this crazy expensive and a rail line with the assumption that it is going to pay off big as a speedy way to connect these major cities, increase shipping, increase travel between the places. They have touted this rail line as being able to take you from Silvery Moon to Waterdeep in 2 days' time, and from Waterdeep to Baldur's Gate in, and she like checks her notes as I also check mine, in an additional 2 days' time, for a total of 4 days to get from Silvery Moon to Baldur's Gate. That is fast. They would have to make a brand new train that is even capable of moving at such speed.
Well, don't they, have a friend that we've been talking about who's a wizard and an artificer and...
Yes, and they do a lot of work with Evenwood's companies, many companies. So it is
Right.
very likely he is involved in some of the technological developments.
I wonder if there's a way that I could inquire about getting a rail line over to Old Cormier.
I mean, there are some rail lines that are starting to be constructed but in the territory that was once part of Cormier and now part of the Sword Coast Federation, but that's mostly in the south.
Sure.
That said, you could certainly inquire and see about the possibilities.
An option if we needed to pull another Bloodkeith type thing.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think Mistfilith Railroads is involved in some of that. I thought I read a story recently that they had constructed a rail line between some of the cities in what was once Cormier, and connected them to the to the El Terrell region to bypass some of the canals that have been constructed and make it quicker.
Interesting. And they've got a station. There's a station in what? That's a stupid question, but I'll say
Yes.
it anyway as a statement instead. There's a station, a train station in this city.
Yes, multiple, but the like I said, the train yard and headquarters are based at the edge of the city, but there is a large downtown train station in Castle Ward.
And the areas that they just purchased from the bank/watchful order, that warehouse deal.
So the warehouses, yeah, there's some warehouses that once belonged to the Watchful Order. My understanding is that, I don't know, maybe they fell out of use, maybe the Watchful Order was done with whatever purpose it was serving. Whatever, for whatever reason, the Watchful Order sold some warehouses they had once controlled to Mistfilith Railways within the last few years.
I wonder if there's anything they left behind. Because the Watchful Order seems to be, the one tying everything together in this city, right? Seems to be a big problem. The links between everybody. They all keep coming back to there.
My assumption is that these people, the powerful capitalists, are sort of the ones calling the shots. The Watchful Order is sort of their secret police force. Not that they haven't already bought out much of the normal police force, but...
So the railways used to go into the warehouses, though, right? Weren't they bringing stuff into trains into the warehouses?
Yes, the
Yeah.
warehouses are located right by the main
Right.
train yard.
But they're no longer in use.
They were the Watchful Orders. Now they are Mistress Railways. I
Right.
don't know if Mistress
Okay.
Railways may be using them,
Okay.
but
You could do a quick little poke around, tourists. See what's what, and I don't know.
Octavia,
I-
ask your friend for a tour of the warehouse.
I'm not sure that they would be able to offer that, but I suppose I could reach out and ask.
Yeah.
yes, if you have a friend who well, it sounds like you said you were connected to someone who's related to Theala, could be helpful.
Sorry, I have a plan. What?
And again, connecting with some of the environmentally inclined folks who are standing up for the nature preserve, and seeing if they have any information. Talking to some of the farmers and some of the small towns around the city could be helpful.
The EPA.
The Environmental Protection Act.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the Equal Participation Association has to do with.
Yeah, I don't really know what
Every single
really-
time anyone says EPA, I have to stop and think.
I could never think of what it stands for.
But yes, those are sort of the leads that I have. And then the warehouses again. You may be able to find something there in terms of possible smuggling.
Right. Well, I guess we'll poke around then.
Mhm.
And besides, Penny says she has a plan, so
Have a plan.
whatever it is, we'll follow it to the ticket.
Not a good idea. But it's a good plan.
Would you like to share your plan?
Freedom, I don't want to say it in front of you because I feel like it's gonna make it look
Fair
crazy.
enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. Well then, would you all like me to leave and allow you to get to work?
I do have kind of a question before you go though, Freedom. How powerful is Aurora the Blackstaff?
I would assume remarkably powerful.
Okay. So, like, let's say someone verbally accosted her in front of a crowd of roughly 75 people, reporters included. If someone were to do that and she reacted negatively to that, do you think that person, how long do you think they have to live?
Did you witness something?
They're dead already.
Did
Yeah,
something
I
happen?
did witness something pretty surprising.
Well, I guess it would depend.
Mhm.
I feel like she would want to avoid doing anything too public.
Mhm.
I'm not sure, to be honest.
I give it a week.
Are you talking about yourself?
Sorry, the cat. They just freaked out. They're biting each other. No, I'm not. So, but also, let's say this person that verbally accosted her is like really charming and cute, and like maybe
like to
it's
insight.
kind of
Go for it.
maybe it's kind of like it's a little charming.
Oh.
What? Natural one.
And
Oh, yeah. Do you think that maybe she'd let them off the hook then if it was kind of like a cute verbal accosting?
I'm not sure. If it was a reporter who
Okay.
asked a question that
Yeah.
she-
Which is legal.
yes, that she did not like,
Yeah.
I doubt she would do anything as bold as to kill that person. At least
Okay,
not
yeah.
immediately.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Weird. Anyways, anyone else have any other questions?
Freedom. I can't remember. Did we ask you to find anything out about mind flare tadpoles some time ago?
I was trying to do some research on that. Yes. So mind flayers are an interesting species. What I was able to find out about mind flayer tadpoles is that the life cycle of the mind flayer is not normal. They don't produce direct offspring through the usual means. Let me put it that way. The way mind flayers make new mind flayers is they capture members of other species and then they put their tadpoles inside them. The tadpoles will latch onto that person's brain and a process called seromorphosis will begin, wherein that person loses their identity, loses everything that made them who they were before, and they fully morph into a mind flayer and are tied into the hive mind.
Is it, something that can be reversed or stopped, or?
Not as far as I'm aware. The process is supposedly fairly quick, taking a few days at most. Which is why I'm curious about the tadpole I have seen in the relation to the Watchful Order. If you'll recall, when you brought in that body of that Watchful Order member, and we found the tadpole in them, well, if there's many Watchful Order agents with these tadpoles inside them, why are they not all mind flayers? If that Watchful Order agent that you all killed and brought to Vinny's hideout was inflicted, how long ago had he been inflicted? And if there was disguise magic being used to make them not look like mind flayers, when they died, the disguise magic should have lifted. But it didn't. That man that you defeated was not a mind flayer, but he had a mind flayer tadpole inside him, and that should not be possible.
Okay. Well.
So whatever is going on with that is beyond what records I've been able to find. It is not normal for mind flayers.
Okay. Well, thank you, Freedom.
If anybody who is proficient in either Arcana or History may make one of those rolls and let me know which one.
History, nat 20.
History, nat 20. Oh,
Which would be a 27 for total.
Yeah.
So.
Jeez.
All right.
History 16, but that's
good.
History 16 doesn't get you anything more than what Freedom has told you. Nat 20 for a total of 27. I'll go ahead and tell you the DC for getting this extra bit of information was 25. So you are thinking you've spent quite a bit of time in the library recently as you've been like trying to ignore the drama going on with your father, who's having a midlife crisis.
I just caused it, so
Sure. but you can't recall if you saw it during your most recent time in the library, or if it's just something you came across in reading at other points in your life. But there's this story from hundreds of years ago in the Baldur's Gate region. The story goes, and most people think this story was a hoax, or was exaggerated, or was just, country bumpkins who didn't understand how things worked. But the story goes that hundreds of years ago, in the area around around Baldur's Gate, excuse me, there was a mind flayer flying ship, raided the area, took captives. They were going to turn them into mind flayers. They were chased by the mind flayers' age-old enemies, the Githyanki, through portals. Githyanki inflicted massive damage on the mind flayer ship, and it crashed outside of Baldur's Gate. There were some survivors of the crash. The survivors of the crash had, according to the story, been infected with mind flayer tadpoles, but curiously did not transform, or depending on the version of the story, did not transform right away. Instead, they got some element of access or control of the mind flayer's psionic powers. The stories are confusing and muddled, and there are multiple alternate versions of this. Like it's very much the form of like an old country legend, an old country myth, right? So there's some contradictory information in the stories, in some of the different versions of the stories. But if it's true, or if elements of it are true, this may not be the first case of people being inflicted with mind flayer tadpoles, but not becoming mind flayers.
I'll share all that with the group.
Ben, how much do I know about mind flayer hierarchy and how their societies work?
Make an Arcana check for me.
To make any queries. Natural one, nothing. Maybe we can go to Baldur's Gate and ask someone.
I'll go ahead and throw out there that also with that natural 20, Octavia would know what mind flayer society is like. Essentially, mind flayers are tied into kind of a hive mind. While each mind flayer is technically an individual, all their thoughts are tied into this hive mind. Hive mind is controlled by an extremely powerful entity called the Elder Brain. The Elder Brain is a super powerful psionic entity. Most Elder Brains once started as a mind flayer, but were more powerful psionically, and eventually morphed into the Elder Brain, which is literally like a huge fucking brain. Like that's what it looks like, with tentacles. The Elder Brains are incredibly powerful. They are the core and sort of in charge of a mind flayer hive. And they are the nexus point of all the mind flayers that live in that hive. Elder Brains, I'll have to double check on this, but I believe the Elder Brain's range of psionic powers is 5 miles. So as long as a mind flayer is within range of their Elder Brain, they are tied into the hive mind. If they leave that 5-mile radius, then they are separated from the hive mind. This is very traumatic for many mind flayers, because the entire time they've been mind flayers, they've been tied in directly to the hive mind. And so it's hard not to be. Sometimes if mind flayers do
They're
something,
homesick.
if mind flayers do something that they're not supposed to, sort of that highest level of punishment is being cut off from the hive mind as well.
For examples, see Star Trek.
Actually, yeah. The Borg are good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what if? Oh, does Octavia share that?
Yeah. I'll share
So-
everything that I know about them.
Great. So what if? And we're getting into things that I don't know anything about. But what if the reason the tadpoles aren't turning is because there's no brain. If that influence isn't there, maybe they're not being told to do anything. Maybe they need the push.
Freedom will speak up at this point and say, I might be inclined to agree with you if it wasn't for the fact that it sounds like a mind flayer, based on what Octavia said and my own research. It sounds like a mind flayer, when there's not an elder brain, another mind flayer
Take that.
becomes the new elder, right? It's like bees. When the queen dies, there's a new queen, right? There's always bees in the hive that have the potential to become queen. So if a queen bee dies, seems like the same thing with mind flayers. If the elder brain dies, if there's no elder brain, then one of the mind flayers that's powerful enough to become the elder brain does.
Is this story from Baldur Gate, like, does this legend predate the Watchful Order? Or is the Watchful Order there before the Baldur Gate story?
Just in terms of time frame, Watchful Order is older, but Watchful Order is Waterdeep based. It's Waterdeep specific.
Okay,
It's not a Federation-wide
right.
organization. Now, the Federation as a whole does have laws about magic usage, but it's up to each member state to decide how they enforce those laws. And Waterdeep, as one of the member states, has chosen to use the Watchful Order of Magus and Protectors, which is thousands of years old,
Mhm.
because they were already doing magical law enforcement. So it made sense to, once like the Federation came to be, it made sense to fold those like federal level responsibilities into the Watchful Order in Waterdeep. But Baldur's Gate presumably has their own magical police force. But the
Okay.
Baldur's Gate stories are from several hundred years ago. Watchful Order is much older than that.
Okay. Also, I don't remember when I found this out. I don't know who I was talking to or if I was just doing research for some reason, but there was the mind flayers that got loose in the city 150 years ago that Aurora took care of. And they were coming from the Undermountain.
Yeah, that's the story that I've, from my research, that's what I've been able to find, is that there were some mind flayers that got loose in the city. The Watchful Order killed them and then sealed up a supposedly up to that point unknown entrance into the Undermountain. Vinny
So,
was members that he was operating back then.
so if the Watchful Order were the ones that took care of the mind flayers, and then the ones that said they killed the mind flayers and then sealed up that entrance, could it be that there's potentially an elder brain in the Undermountain that the Watchful Order knows about and then forgot to tell everyone?
Ooh, that's putting it very nicely.
I mean, if there is a mind flayer hive in the Undermountain, then it would stand to reason that there's an elder brain in the Undermountain. But there's nowhere in the Undermountain that's outside of the radius of 5 miles. So I would think that if that is the case, if there are any mind flayers or the mind flayer tadpoles in the city, they would be tied into the Elder Brain, which is possible, but it still doesn't explain why these people are not turning into mind flayers after being infected with the tadpole.
The last black staff, are they dead?
Yes. Aurora Araneath has been Black Staff for the last 200 years. It's sort of a lifetime appointment.
Sure.
Yeah, don't they have to give up their soul to the staff?
Oh, that's right.
Yes. After
So like
death-
they're dead.
yeah, actually it's sort of a it's not only a lifetime appointment, it's also an afterlife time appointment.
Could be me.
Charming. Okay. So that really isn't going to get us anything. All right, well, we'll keep our eyes open.
Yeah, so unfortunately, we just don't know enough about the Watchful Order. We don't know enough about these mind flayers. I'm deeply troubled by any possible connections between the Watchful Order and mind flayers, but I don't know what it is. I think it is perhaps best to continue, like I said, down the path that we're on.
If we come across another one, should we bring them to you?
Alive or dead?
Yeah, knocked out, but like bring
I'm
them.
not sure what I would be able to uncover through such methods, 'cause I'm not a specialist in that. I'm good at researching things. I'm good at finding out things I'm not supposed to, but I'm not a specialist at, examining magical creatures. That said, if you were to capture a Watchful Order agent alive and you all wanted to do an examination of some kind,
Yeah.
you'd be
And we're
welcome
medical
to,
doctors. Sure.
but
Bowman pulls out his switchblade. I got it. I just cut it out.
Eek.
Hmm.
Well, maybe we can
I
find
think
someone who
maybe-
is.
A magical examination would be.
He puts back his switchblade. Ah.
Who's the person? Hold on. He's a person that I know. And I sent him an invitation to join my little club. Can you help me get a thing?
I haven't gotten my invitation yet.
It's on its way.
Write it down.
You son of a bitch.
Gargax. Is that who you're looking
Oh
for?
no, not the Dragonborn. Not the Dragonborn.
Oh.
The
Annie boy?
assistant, the
Amos Durant.
Amos Durant.
Yes, the personal archmage to the Open Lord.
Yep. I
Which
wonder
I will
if I
quickly
get to know
say-
them.
That's true. Sorry. I will quickly say that typically the personal archmage to the Open Lord would be the Blackstaff. It is
Ooh.
notable that the Open Lord has a separate personal archmage.
Maybe I start exploring that relationship a little more. And without telling them anything that we're going after the Watchful Order, like just kind of poke around. Oh, freedom! Here, I'm starting a club. Tell them about Bright Shield Gardens membership.
She's like, thank you, Mr. Brightshield.
Yeah, I figured that's the thing. If there's someone you want to know things about, then
That's true.
I can give them an invitation.
That's true. Thank you. That's smart. I'm just throwing this out there. Are you open to the idea of inviting maybe your next couple targets? Thomas Wood, Diala Mistralef?
Well, I was going back and forth because if I start a club and then some of the big names start disappearing, no one else is going to
Maybe
be in the
people
club.
won't be inclined to join it.
That's
That's true.
Everyone will be talking. Oh no! You hear what happened to that?
You hear what happened to
Rachel
that club?
Gardens?
That's true.
I'm out.
That's true. That's
So I'm going
Good
back and
thinking.
forth. Maybe
Good thinking.
one or two, not all of them.
sure.
Invite the dragon.
All right.
Oh, and there is going to be one Dragonborn. just because I owe him a debt.
Sure. All right. Well,
You owe me a debt, but I'm not invited to the party.
Penny, you will be there so many times because I will own the place.
I don't get to go to the inauguration party.
No, you're definitely going to be there. It's just you're not going to be a member because you have
Wow.
to pay a crap ton of money. Do you want to do that? Or do
Are
you
you
want the free
saying that I'm
invitation?
poor?
No.
How
do
much
you...
is the-
Listen,
how
if
much
you
is the
would like
fee?
to... I haven't decided yet.
Well, let me know when you decide, and I'll write a check.
Roll 60 20s.
on that note,
Freedom's like,
I should get going. It sounds like you all have some plans you want to hash out. And,
Mhm.
all right. Let me know if you need anything, and let me know when you get any useful information.
bye.
Have a good night.
Bye, Freedom.
And
Bye.
she
Have a
departs.
good night, Greedy.
She pieces out.
He's a real one. Penny, what's your plan?
Yeah.
Oh my god, my plan. Okay, guys, I really outdid myself here. So trains, right?
Yes.
Octavia, what is your friend's name and the approximate age? What's their vibe?
Belle, right? Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah, Belle. And
You're the one who named them.
pretty sure I named them Belle. Yeah, they're about my age, so 25. So yeah, 24, 25.
Right. And the vibe?
Positive.
Positive. Great. Would we say kind, generous?
Yes, I think so.
Excellent. Okay.
Does she wear a lot
So-
of yellow?
No,
Does she read a lot?
Oh.
it's
Oh,
they.
God.
Right.
No.
Do they?
One of us pretends we're dying, okay? And we love trains. Whoever is dying loves trains. And it is their last dying wish to see a nice cross-country road trip by train, seeing some of the big sights. We asked Belle if she can possibly, please let us, serve this last act that they really want to do, see the country by train, especially the warehouses, because they're really into warehouses. We can hash out that part. I'm not really there yet, but we need to see the warehouses. But we play up this idea that it's like their last dying wish, and no one can turn down a last dying wish. Oh my God. And also what we could do is Octavia, you and me could be writing a piece on this person, because it's like, child's last wish to see countryside by train, Mr. Lith Train Company, he says yes, or something like this. And we're writing an expose, so there's also some press about it, so it's kind of sexy. It's like, oh my gosh, there's press about this, right? It would
Where
be
are we
really good if we
finding
could
a
get
child?
I
Kid.
know
Do
a
we
child.
Kid actors?
Wait, no, wait, what?
Do we know any kid actors?
No, I could find one.
Artemis, why do you know children?
I know Danny.
No. That's
I'll get Danny boy. It'll
He
be good.
always looks like he's about to die because his
That's true.
allergies.
He's coughing all the time.
I think we could make this work. The downside of this, though, is that at the very end, to make it convincing, he would either have to go into hiding and change his name, or we'd have to kill him.
We'll get better.
you can't. No.
But
The
then
train
that,
ride cures his illness.
no one likes that. Train ride cures his illness.
Just a spot of fresh air in the country.
Victorian age. They send them outside for 4 months and they're better.
They finally leave the city for 5 minutes of fresh air. They're cured.
I look at this time period. If you had a cough, you went to the doctor's like, "Hey, I've got a cough." They'd be like, "Why don't you do some morphine about it?" So, you know,
God, wish they'd done that to my mom.
Penny.
Anyway,
Penny's mom.
Penny.
Okay then.
What?
Well, I could just talk to Belle about possibly just going to the warehouses instead. I don't think we need to come up with some elaborate ruse.
Yeah. Whatever
This
works.
is fun
works.
though.
Whatever works. I mean, if she's cool with just letting us in, that's fine. But also, we have a backup plan, so
Okay.
We
I
have a
mean-
backup plan.
we have a backup
Um,
plan.
Real quick, Octavia, go ahead and make an insight check for me. Not against anyone here. For the record.
Ooh,
Oh,
that
about
was shitty.
I was wondering which one of us
7.
was lying.
7. Sorry.
Yeah.
That was gonna be for something going on with Belle.
If only we had a monk that could give her luck.
Go ahead and take a luck point.
Oh, Snar's right there. Yeah.
Nar has 2 luck points left.
What does that mean?
Thanks,
Reroll.
Roll again.
Oh, that's better. Non-natural 20.
Thanks, Eva.
You would know. You would actually know that Belle is not speaking to their mother right now.
Ooh.
An
They
angle.
So Belle is very into nature. Really
Mhm.
likes natural environments, nature, all that stuff. Railways
Remember the
destroying a
EPA?
nature preserve.
Wrong EPA.
Yeah. And the railways
They're
destroying a
a
nature.
druid, right? Is that
Yeah. Uncommon in Waterdeep, but
Oh.
right? They're a druid, so
Oh, that's very into nature.
yeah.
mhm.
It's like
You can't get much
Positive
more into
vibes.
nature.
That's as into nature as you can be.
Yeah.
That's
So
part
they're
of
a
nature.
nature princess.
Yes.
Wow, she really could sing a
Nature-
song and little
nature
birds and
royalty.
chipmunks come up to her.
Yes.
Love that.
Nature royalty. Yes, they are.
They are non-binary.
But they are very into nature, and that's kind of the main thing. They're nature oriented. They're a druid. Don't get along with their mom because their
That
mom
makes sense.
seems to hate everything nature.
But
Is
they could still have access to some of the warehouses somehow. Maybe.
is there another person who it's Theala is the actual like CEO, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there like another person in the mix there? Like some sort of partner or whatever? Are they dead? Single mom? Do we know it all?
What I know about the
Yeah, Theala does have a husband.
And they're
Theala's
still together?
yes, they are still married. Theala's husband. Oh my god, hold on. Where is it?
Name him Brian.
No, it's
Do it.
It's Brian from security.
his name. Is
Full circle.
Brian from security wouldn't have helped us.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was-
Her newly wedded husband is Brian from security.
Yeah.
He left his
So,
job and got
um,
he's now a trophy husband.
Theala's husband is technically Belle's stepfather. Belle's biological father is not in the picture. Belle's stepfather, Belle does also not get along with. He is the head of the Purity Coalition in the Congress of
Oh.
Waterdeep. His name is Mitchell Conwood.
Jesus
Ugh.
Christ.
Any resemblance to real people is purely coincidental.
You know,
Some people-
I didn't even
he's-
put that together.
Mitchell Conwood is human. Some people think that there was a turtle somewhere in his lineage.
Gross. How does that work?
No,
Love
I
A
don't
turtle.
know.
They're a being. They're
They're-
beings.
There's
Oh,
large
I thought you
turtles.
said turtle.
They're giant turtle
Okay.
people.
Okay, I was like, oh, that's weird. I mean, I don't mean to, whatever.
Anyway,
I don't know.
I think you can. Oh, that's weird. That one.
Okay, great.
I think you can do that.
Okay, I'm glad we all agree.
But that's not confirmed. That's just people think that
Allegedly.
there's a little bit of a resemblance there.
We go into
Right.
their house and steal his family tree.
Yeah.
So you can get in touch with your friend,
Yes.
and there's a good chance they're gonna want to at least give us something or get
Oh,
involved.
they'll help us if it's gonna hurt their parents.
I wouldn't
love that
lead
for
with
them.
that just in case, but
Well, I won't.
you know,
No.
it's your friendship. You know.
And remember, if it's not working out, just say one of us is dying.
Danny, his name's Daniel.
I
He's
don't
about
think
8.
we're gonna need to do that.
I'll
That's
find
fine,
him.
but
I'll
I'm
track
just
him down.
saying.
He can be my
Just rent
protege for
another
next
carriage.
week.
He's also a teenager.
Not a kid.
Really?
People care about teens,
He's like a younger teen, but he's a teen.
like 13,
I don't
Like
know if he's
14?
actually ever asked his age.
15,
50 I'll find him and ask his age.
16.
Oh, you can't just
Wait, he has to be able to
ask how old They
drive.
are Artemis. That's not appropriate.
But I'll just
Asking
No.
age.
look. I should check in on him anyway. Make sure he's still alive.
Oh.
Okay. I'm
If
gonna
he's not alive, that'll
write-
really put a wrench in our plan.
I know.
I'm gonna
We'll have
write
to
a
put
letter
Bowman
to
in an
Belle.
outfit or something.
Right. Yep.
Okay, I don't know where people keep on volunteering me for these situations.
You're just such a chameleon.
A team player.
I don't know how to respond to that.
Do I still have the suggestions, Belle?
Oh my god.
I do.
Oh, I do. Good. Never mind. Continue.
Okay. I'm just gonna write a letter to
Right.
Belle, asking if there is any way that we could gain access to some of the railroad warehouses, if they could help get us into any pieces of the railway that we might be interested in.
Okay. How much
not
about what you're involved in do you explain in the letter?
very little.
Okay.
I'm gonna also say we can meet up to discuss details further.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I'll send Lexa off to find them.
Okay. Great.
Good. Should we do anything in the meantime other than track down Daniel?
You could
I'm
go
gonna like
talk to
stare at
farmers.
Bowman for a second.
Yeah,
Oh,
farmers.
my gosh. Yes, we're alone now, aren't we?
Yeah.
Why
Bowman's
don't we
doing
all
abs-
I'm
sit-
picking up on your vibe.
I'm just gonna
Bowman's
say-
doing absolutely everything not to make eye contact with anybody at this moment.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Does Bowman
Wow.
have something on
Bowman.
his face?
Bowman.
This the
Bowman.
molding on the ceiling. This is
Bowman.
this house. Wow.
Yeah, it's great. Bowman, could you look at me?
At this point,
Yes.
both Penny and Nyx, please make insight checks for me.
19.
19, 17.
Yeah.
I think both of those beat what it was. It a 16 deception?
He had
you
a
got?
7.
Yeah.
17. 17 ties, so you know everybody knows something's up at this point. Oh, I guess I should roll for Janara.
You know,
Okay,
she'll use a
Janara
luck
doesn't
point.
know something's up because that was a 2.
She can use a luck point.
That's
Janara.
It's her last block.
Where's all our luck? Give it away.
2 more. I think she gets 3.
You get a luck point. You get a luck
Okay.
point.
That was a natural 20.
Great.
So
My
they
God.
all
Everybody
know
knows.
something's
What's
up
going
with you.
on?
Oh,
Why
man.
am I always the last to know things?
I don't know what's happening either.
What?
Why are Nyx and I always the last to know things?
Bowman has something to share with the class.
I have nothing to share. With
Yes,
the
you
class.
do.
I am.
Bowman,
I
you
had
got really
oatmeal
weird
breakfast.
when we were talking about the dragon
What?
/ fear kindler. What do you know?
I would not know it. I'm just a simple dock worker. I'm
Yeah,
just-
I don't believe. Can I cast
Bowman,
detect
why would you-
thoughts, please?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, surface level thoughts are free. You know,
Oh yeah.
Bowman, you don't even get to make a saving throws because
You
surface level
don't.
thoughts are free.
God
So-
damn it.
I
Staring into your
assume
soul.
that Bowman is thinking about Fear Kindler right now with this conversation being up.
I will narrate. It is pretty much he is reliving the first time he met Fear Kindler in person. So that's just going through his head. And his
So
mind,
Octavia just sees a dragon face.
Yeah, Octavia sees that memory.
What?
I'm like staring into Bowman's soul a little bit.
ask permission. Okay.
What are you hiding from us?
And you're hiding stuff, so
more
I'm not
specifically,
gonna ask.
why?
Okay.
Fear Kindler is like the dragon?
What?
Like
Janara
your
says, huh?
boss is a dragon?
I would like to preference that he didn't own the company when I started. Okay. But yes, there is a dragon who owns the shipping company I now work for.
Why do you still work there?
Probably because if he left, he'd get killed.
Because he needs
A
money.
funny thing about that, I was going to be fired a couple weeks ago.
Does that mean like normal
Fired?
fired or like dragon fired since it's a red dragon?
That's what I thought first, but they were just gonna let me go. But no, I stayed because that's what I like to do. So
You like working for a big hungry lizard?
like I said, it didn't start. He didn't own it before. It's a recent occurrence.
No, I'm not. It's okay that you work for him. It's just. Does everyone know they're working for a dragon?
At least 4 people know besides me.
How long have you known?
How long have we known each other?
How long have
Few
we known each
months?
other? A couple months?
Prob-
You knew this for a couple months, and Freedom told us about the 5 big bads that we have to fight months ago, and you didn't say anything to us?
Nobody asked.
Are you kidding me?
I mean, to be fair, a couple of us just asked right now, and you seemed a little dicey about it.
I'm telling you. Like, I don't know what you want from me.
Yeah, you made me go into your brain, man. I don't really like doing that.
Why
I-
are you being so protective of this information?
Yeah.
I just don't want you guys. I don't want you guys to think that we could have a chance against him at all. I don't want you guys to get hurt, really.
Oh. No, we'd have no chance. I saw the image of that dragon. We would die instantly.
Also flashing back, because you probably know what Bowman was feeling. Bowman fully was under the frightful presence effect too, so you probably felt that Bowman was terrified.
Completely terrified.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So you thought withholding that information for us was going to keep us safe?
More like if you had didn't know more, you were less likely to go after him. Like we didn't do anything with Bloodkeith until we knew for sure something was going on. Same with Marvaldi. So to assume that I was wrong, you could say that I was wrong to do.
You
so,
were wrong.
but I was trying my best to protect you.
Hmm.
No, I don't fault you for not telling us, but
I do.
you did get a little bit sketchy there.
I have my secrets.
I
and
understand
I keep my
that.
secrets.
I
Yes,
won't,
would you like to share
I
any
won't
more
go
now?
into your brain again unless you.
No.
You said nobody ever asked, so I'm just asking. I would like to know more about your likes, your dislikes, your dispositions, your positions,
Oh my
just
god.
in general.
I don't think I'm
because
old
I
enough to hear this
just-
conversation.
no, not like I have shared quite a lot, and it would mean it's not required, but it would be very special and a true sign of our friendship. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. Our friendship, if you shed a little bit about where you were born, your mother's name, what's your favorite kind of pie, anything.
Cormier, I've never met my mother, and also Blackberry. There you go.
I'll tell my mom. She makes
Oh,
a good
do
blackberry
say the
pie.
jam that delicious.
She's real good at baking.
But
Thank you. I am satisfied and don't want to know anything else. See, we all had fun.
Artemis.
What's happening?
I want to know so much
Crying.
more. I want to know so much more.
Artemis, I know.
Artemis shared his past, so we all have to share one secret from Artemis.
This is the sharing circle, damn it.
Yeah. Is anyone
Ben,
else hiding any really important information that is directly pertinent to our jobs? Anyone else? Going once?
Y'all
going
know-
twice?
Penny?
Everything important.
Oh, I don't know.
Going 3 times? I'm an open book. I tell everyone everything all the time.
then question for you, Miss Presswell. What was the whole thing with angering the black staff that you were, hypothetically saying to Freedom? If we're being
Yeah,
an
that was
open,
really
open book right
specific.
now. Yes. that
Yeah,
very
it was
specific.
specific because it was me, obviously. I'm not going to tell Freedom that because then Freedom's going to be like, wow, this girl has anger management problems. And it's like, yeah, I do. It's called childhood trauma. But I'm not going to tell her that because she's like my boss. So yes, it was me. Okay. Yeah. I maybe verbally accosted the black staff in front of roughly 75 people and she got really weird about it. And then I had a drink with Octavia's dad and then we were talking and
Wait,
I
what?
didn't need to say that part, but he I thought I was going to get fired, but then he didn't fire me. He gave me a raise. It was a lot. It was-
Congratulations.
Thanks. Yep.
Oh, how does he feel about, people impersonating his
book.
daughter?
I don't think. Artie, I
Did
don't.
you talk about that at all?
Oh no.
What's the face? Is the face Artemis, right? Not me.
Artemis.
Okay, good.
Ooh.
Couldn't be me.
Oh, did I? Am I
We
missing
are all
something?
sharing.
I think that was a scab that was not meant to be picked at.
Oh.
It's not an impersonator.
Oh,
Artemis,
It's actually you?
No.
Penny's gonna hit Artemis across the face.
No.
Artemis, I will tell you the first thing about battle is to read the room. So
Okay, but anyway, so yeah,
No.
no pertinent information, right? We all are everything that pertains to a case that we are all working on together. Every information that we have is been brought to the group, right? We're not holding anything that could potentially harm one of us later on because we don't have all the information.
Yes.
Because speak now or forever hold your peace, or I will shoot you.
Oh.
Bright Shield Vintage uses Endless Flame Shipping Company. I might be reevaluating that now that I know who's at the top, but it's not going to
Or
be.
maybe
Yeah.
we keep that for a little bit.
It is an inn.
Keep your enemies close and your friends closer. No, keep your enemies closer and your enemies close.
Keep people close.
Your friends, keep your friends close, but
You're
your
doing
enemies.
great.
The friends of my enemies are my enemies.
Penny,
For the
it's
love of
okay.
God, someone help me.
Enemies
Keep
of
your
my
friends
enemies
close
are my
and your enemies
friends.
closer.
At this point, Lexa returns.
Great.
Oh.
The back of your note has new writing on it. It says, I have no clue what this voice is going to be, so I'm just going to read the letter in my normal voice because I haven't even thought about what Belle's voice is.
It's a piece of paper.
Yeah.
So
Belle wrote you back a note saying, Octavia dear, I haven't heard from you in ages. Like we've got to catch up sometime. I assume you're asking me questions about my mother because of the paper. I don't know how much power I have to get you into places, but if you want to have coffee and catch up, and I'll do what I can. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I'll just write back a short note to meet at some coffee spot tomorrow.
Okay. Great. Yeah, like stuff flies
Maybe
off.
close to the, I don't know, close to the edge of the city.
Okay.
Should we also go talk to like the farmers and those people?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah. You
I
can get a train ride. It'll be good for Danny.
Wait, I don't think we need to bring
Why-
Danny if we're not
Danny
executing.
doesn't need to come.
Oh,
Artemis, what does Danny have to bring to this party?
what?
Tell me what
He's a
what
convincing
can
face.
Danny
He's
do?
sickly.
Because for
He's
some
a
reason,
child. Kind of.
Apparently, he's like 18.
No.
Why did Artemis want to bring Danny if we weren't were you just gonna have him get on the train and
He'll
Be
come with
happy?
us. He's a good cover. Be like, we're showing our this boy, this dying boy.
cover. How have you ever been on a train before? You don't
Yes.
need it. It's just you buy a ticket and you get on the train. They don't really ask a lot of questions about that.
Well, in case they do,
more questions if we had a child?
would it?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Let's go with
Let's
my
just get
plan.
this straight. 5 adults have one child of various different races and physical shapes and stuff. Like,
Mhm. And many different ages too.
yeah, has a 14-year-old kid. You don't think that's gonna
Well,
answer?
He's ranging anywhere from 18 to 7. We're not quite sure.
He's timeless.
None of us can tell how old children are.
You know, guys, if we didn't want to invite a third party, I think I am the youngest one here. I'm pretty young looking,
What are you, like 21?
Oh my
She's
god.
somewhere between 7 and 18.
Oh my god. 21.
I think she's told you how old she is before.
Pretty sure she's
Yeah.
19.
Oh, for sure. I didn't write it down.
Right?
Bowen,
Yeah.
you're 58.
I'm 60.
Why did I think I said 58 before and you said 60?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I knew your age.
No, you didn't.
I knew approximately your age.
How old are you?
technically
19.
19. So I approximately know your age.
You knew because I
The same
undervalued your
number of
age and you
years.
overvalued mine.
same number of years off.
Whose side are you
How old
on?
am I?
30 something.
Well, thank
You're
you. I
like-
appreciate that.
45.
40. You're 40 something.
Something.
45 years young.
Yeah.
But
See,
that's
Bowman
like
remembers.
16 human years.
What?
Me?
Yeah.
I said that's 16 in human years.
No.
Okay,
Not
well.
quite.
Nix has still been alive for 45 years.
Oh yeah, that's right. Well,
It's not like a cat or anything.
I think
Dog years.
technically Octavia would be the youngest though because of the half elf thing. Or
mhm.
maybe
For-
Artemis.
Oh, in terms of
Relative
Oh,
to
right.
relative
Relative
to
to
average
total.
lifespan,
Lifespan.
probably Octavia and Artemis
Yeah, I'm 22.
Or you know what though, because half elves can live to be like
200. Just at 200-ish.
yeah, in that somewhere in that one century to 2 century range. But gnomes can live into like 3 century range.
So I might actually be
So yeah.
the least mature
About
of my race.
Yeah.
Octavia is younger than me.
No.
In comparison to the like how old she could theoretically get.
So what I'm
Yes.
hearing is that Octavia is younger than me.
No.
She has experienced
like your elder?
proportionally less life.
You're her upperclassman.
Penny Presswell, upperclassman.
I don't know what's happening right now.
Yeah.
I don't either.
Are we still? Is it the next
okay.
day yet? Are we on a train?
So-
He's still recording.
So
Session ended an hour ago.
so wrapping it all back
Yeah.
in, Lexa gets back with a new response from Belle saying, "Sounds good. I'll see you then." So you have a meeting with Belle tomorrow.
Cool.
So unless you all had more discussions or plans that you needed to make, you can all sort of.
I want to ask Bowman flat out if he's ever heard of the Oikosian Knights.
No,
Because I think you already did the history check, but I didn't have the conversation with you.
no. That wasn't really my history wasn't my forte.
Okay, what can I ask what your forte was?
Survival. Of course.
I guess that makes sense. Oh, you're such a mystery to me, Mr. Bowman.
And with that, you all retire for the evening, heading back to your various abodes. Artemis, I don't know if you're going to continue crashing at Janara's or if you wanted to go to your new home. That's up
I
to
guess
you.
I should see what this place looks like.
Sure, you head off to your new home. It's a townhome. Nix, did you have something?
Yeah, on my way home, I'm gonna just like swing by the train yard, just like take a little detour,
Okay.
just to look at it and like make
Okay.
sure that I know where it is.
Sure. Yeah, you find it sort of at the edge of town. Make a perception check for me, just for the hell of it.
18.
18. Yeah, you look out across the train yard. You know, there's a huge like fencing around the train yard to keep people from that aren't supposed to, be there from going into it. Big like train depot building. You see there's like security walking the premises. This is one of the only parts of the Undercliff ward with regular electricity, because most of the people who live here are too poor to afford electricity, but there are lights all
There
around.
is 100% a place where people will like on certain nights plug in radios and
Yes,
stuff.
yes, that happens quite a bit. It's like
No, like from this
oh right,
place, they like run wires.
absolutely the case. Security, patrolling the yard. You see a couple trains sort of sitting, waiting on the tracks. A couple like outbuildings and warehouses within the fenced yard. There's sort of the main like train depot building. Closest to the fences is what appears to be an office building of some sort. So yeah, this is the train yard. 18 doesn't get you anything special beyond that. So, but yeah. It's a huge like complex.
And it looks like it's fairly regularly patrolled.
Looks like it. But
Okay. I just like walk down one of the fences and
okay,
carry on.
great.
Who's it patrolled by?
Oh yeah, can I tell?
Is it private
uniform?
security, watchful order, Miss whatever the hell her name is?
Looks like usually looks like the Zentarum.
Brian.
Our
Brian,
boys.
Brian.
But yeah, then you head back home afterwards.
Hey, Mom, can you make my friend a blackberry pie?
Good evening, dear. Good to see you.
Hi. This is after I greet her.
Oh.
Like, this is me going upstairs, remembering, turning around and being like,
Kicks
oh,
in door.
Okay.
hey.
I need
Okay.
a pie.
Certainly, dear. Is it for a special occasion or?
No, he just doesn't share very much and shared this about himself. He's also a very large being. So like get out the big pans. Otherwise he's probably gonna eat it in one bite.
All right, dear. Yes.
Thank you.
Did you have a good night with your friends?
Yeah, it was good. Also, you don't feel like you need to make it right now. I can help you. I just, wanted to get it in somebody else's brain.
All right, dear. Are you enjoying your new job?
Yeah. It's fun. I get to fix stuff
Good.
and talk to people, and there's a soup kitchen running out of the place now. So that's cool.
Very nice. Well, your father and I, I just wanted to check in.
Yeah.
Haven't really had much of a chance to talk recently.
Yeah. Sorry, I've been busy.
I know. It's okay.
Guilt trip.
Well, good night, dear.
Good night.
And you head off to bed. Is Octavia staying at home or is she crashing somewhere else right now?
She's been going back home,
Okay.
but like not talking to Dad.
Okay. Yeah, you have noticed your dad's office is getting increasingly disheveled. Your dad is definitely, he wasn't like he drank, but he wasn't like much of a drinker before. He is drinking pretty heavily as of late. Today,
Is he in his office when I get home? Is he in his office when I get home?
He is. He's like passed out on his desk. You like go over. He's still breathing, so he's seems fine. But you don't have to do anything. I'm just informing you of this. If you would like to do something, you may. But otherwise, you can retire to your room.
I'm gonna take the liquor bottles that are probably strewn across the desks in his office and like take them and dump them out.
Okay. Yeah.
Fill them with water instead.
Yeah, as you're doing it, Jacinda, bustles over with an armful of liquor bottles of her own. He says, I've been trying to dump these as quickly as I've been able as well. I've seen the state your father's in. He's been buying new ones.
I'm sorry I did this, Jacinda.
No, dear, it's my fault. I should have said something sooner. I just didn't want to hurt either of you, but I realize now I only caused more pain by waiting as long as I did. So I can
okay.
take care of this. You look tired, dear. Go to bed.
I'll shuffle off to bed.
Okay. Artemis, you get to your new home. Between the furniture from your rooms back at the old family estate has been moved here. That's one of the things that Dagrin told you he was going to do. So movers have already moved in your old furniture, as well as the new furniture you purchased and got the stipend to cover. It's a nice townhome. It's not massive. But it's about the size of the townhome that the Wilmingtons lived in a similar part of town, not on the same street, but in relatively nearby, in the Trades Ward, north end of the Trades Ward. Nice, yeah, it's a nice little townhome. Lots of stock of Bright Shield vintage in the basement.
Sure. Any good home.
Yeah. As you enter your bedroom, there's your old bed from the home, right there.
I just kind of explored the old furniture.
Yeah.
Just remember who I was, who was alive last time I saw this. Kind of open up some of the drawers and find like old songs and ditties that I had written stuffed away somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, you're sort of going through your stuff in your room. As you're sort of going through all your stuff, there's like a sitting room just off to like your bedroom, right? Like a private sitting room. And as you go into this private sitting room, you're immediately struck by the chair that your father sat in the night of your huge argument is here.
Ooh.
And you somehow just know that Dagrin did that on purpose.
Yeah. I like grab the sword hilt a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna pull it out clumsily.
Uh-huh.
I'm still not very good at it. I'm gonna approach the chair. It's not like the only thing in the room.
No. There's other
it's
furniture in here, but notably, and it's like directly across from the door into the sitting room is that chair. So you couldn't miss it, even if you tried.
Yep. I'm gonna just, probably for several minutes, stare at it, think, take a deep breath, and kind of hold up the sword and kind of offer, I guess you were right, old man. As always. We'll see what we can do. And I'll close the door behind me, and I will not be opening that room ever again.
All right. Penny, you go home. Very quiet in the area around your house, as it has been recently, seeing as nobody lives there now. You get in. Your brothers are actually visiting. They came over from the army base in town. They and your father are just, sitting at the kitchen table, talking, enjoying a couple drinks. Paul gestures you in. Benny, come here. Have a drink with us.
Nothing I'd love to do more after a long day. Sure.
They pour you a drink. Your father says, well, we were just discussing that the Watchful Order arrived today with a large offer on the home. Seems that they are trying to get the people that didn't get kicked out of their homes to willingly move out of their homes. But I was telling the boys, after all the trouble we went to save this place, I'm not interested.
Right. Okay. Good. What were they offering? How much?
Like twice as much as we owed.
Did they say anything else, or just did they say why they wanted to buy the property?
They wanted to consolidate their holdings in the area, I guess.
How many were there?
Oh, just 2 people stopped by.
Okay.
They weren't wearing, active, like,
They're plain clothes
yeah,
officers.
they were wearing, yes, they were wearing, normal clothes. They weren't
Right.
in uniform.
Right. No, yeah, they're not getting this house.
No, they're not. Thank you for helping me see this.
We all helped. Some of us more than others, but we all helped.
We would not have been able to save the home without you. I still don't know how you managed that, Penny. but-
Yeah, me neither. It's fine. Well, I can unpack that another time with my therapist.
Yeah, you and your brothers and father, chat for a little while. Eventually, your brothers depart to go back to their bunks at the army base, and you and your father both retire to bed. Now that your father is retired, unemployed, but
LOL.
he doesn't go anywhere during the day, so he's kind of just been a homebody recently. But he retires to bed. You retire to your bedroom as well, and as you enter, laying on your pillow is a cutout of the Waterdeep Times, the article you wrote about the illness.
Wait, in like a good way or a bad way?
In a way.
I want to go over to my dad's room and like knock on the door.
Yeah. He opens it. Yes.
Dad, did you read my last article in the paper?
Yeah, I did. It was good.
Thanks. Did you save a copy?
He looks around his room. Maybe downstairs.
Okay, but you didn't like normal.
Yeah.
You didn't do anything.
No, not why.
Like, you know how like
frame
you
it
wouldn't
or
like frame
something,
my article
or-
or something. You wouldn't like frame my article. Right.
Not unless you asked me to.
Right. Yeah, of course. No, that'd be ridiculous. I was just thinking because some people in the office were talking about framing articles. And Peter and Paul did they read it? Do you know? Or say anything?
I think they read it.
Okay,
I'm
but they
not
didn't
sure.
say
They
anything
read
to
the
you.
paper.
Right.
No, they didn't say anything to me.
Okay. I was just wondering.
All right. Good night.
Okay.
Peter.
Night. Okay. So can I? Oh, shit. Okay. All right. That's fine. I'm gonna sleep on the floor,
Okay.
and I'm not gonna sleep.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not gonna sleep. I don't want to touch it. I don't want to touch anything there.
Great.
Great. She's not
then-
sleeping ever again.
And then
So
Bowman.
glad you're never leaving that house, and it's always going to be your family's.
Oh my god. They're not taking my fucking house. They're not taking it.
Bowman. Over to you. You return to the docks, set up your hammock underneath a dock, as you do when the weather starts getting a little warmer. Lay down, fall asleep. In your dreams, this has happened before, though not frequently. You are standing and staring at you, younger version of you in your old military uniform. Are you ashamed of me, Bowman?
Ashamed.
You didn't want to share with your new friends what we did.
It's to be ashamed would put it lightly.
Well, I suppose that's not surprising. You dropped everything.
I'm not you anymore.
No, you've made that abundantly clear with your name choice.
I'm a better person for it too. I fix things now. I don't break them all the time.
Everything we did was for Cormier. Even now, you are trying to rejuvenate it.
Everything you did was for the Operation Black Claw. Everything I do is for Cormier. And what's left, what you can save. To be ashamed of a shadow is to put it lightly.
What would they think of you now?
Who knows? Most of them think I'm dead.
Aren't you? And the dream fades. And that's where we'll end tonight's episode.
Damn.
Thank you very much for playing, y'all. Lots and lots of good conversations, backstory reveals, all kinds of stuff tonight. So thank you for playing. Thank you everyone for watching. Sorry you couldn't be with us tonight, Eva. We look forward to you joining us next time.
Thanks for all the luck points.
Yeah, thanks for all the luck points.
Thank you.
You did burn all 3 of them, but you'll get a long rest so you can have them back. So there you go. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching, and we'll see you next time. Good night.